Feature photos. Subtitled, there's got to be a photo here somewhere. So what's a feature photo? It's a standalone photo in a publication, frequently called wild art or enterprise photography within the organization. They're timeless. Often you'll take it on Monday and the photo will be held waiting on a hold. It doesn't necessarily run the same day. It's a little hard to describe, but you know it when you see it. Features frequently don't get a lot of support. They need to be a strong enough image to stand by themselves as a standalone picture. It may need a little bit longer, more involved caption to give it some context, almost a mini story. National Geographic frequently runs stories that run maybe 3 to 5 pages that are just photos and long captions. And in essence, those are feature pictures. How do they differ from news? Because they can cross the line sometimes. Well, they add a light touch to the daily gamut of accidents, politics, crime, and general mayhem. Surveys show that readers enjoy looking at feature pictures. They're about showing a slice of life, their timelessness. They featurize the news, show a little different side to the news, and the really successful ones illustrate fairly universal emotions. How do you find it? Well, some photographers just go out in their car and drive around looking for pictures. When you see one, stop and take the picture. It may be too late if you go around the block saying, I wonder if that was any good. If there's doubt in your mind, stop the car, get out, and explore the situation. Other photographers prefer to find a likely spot and get out of the car and walk around and look for decisive moments. Certainly at some place like CSU with limited parking, that's the way to go. The action is not anywhere near the parking lot. So get out and take a walk. Same thing happens, for example, in a park. If you want to go to the park to hunt, that's fine. But you need to get out of the car and just walk around and be aware of your surroundings. There's kind of a debate going on. Do you stalk the subject like a hunter and grab the candid moment, like Henri Cartier-Bresson? Or do you approach the subject and ask in advance if you can take the picture? You'll find most people are agreeable if you do that, but you'll lose the spontaneity, and you may have to wait a while for that person to forget what you're up to and go back to what they're doing. These days with children, it's really important to make sure that the parents are aware of what you're doing and that they're on board by giving their permission. So what are some good feature subjects? Weather pictures are classic features. Children is a fairly fail-safe option, if not a little trite. People love looking at animal photos. But again, you want to show behavior, not an animal portrait. People in strange situation, the incongruous moment. And anytime you can find humor with your picture, that lightens the mood of any publication, but especially a news organization. So here's some features. A kid eating a barbecued rib. This could also run as a news picture. Again, community events are sources for feature pictures. Something like the stock show. People think of the stock show, they think of the rodeo, or they think of stuff out in the yards, but just sort of behind the scenes looks can be a good feature. Again, a detailed shot from something like commencement could be a nice feature. A different look at a familiar thing. If you look up at the football stadium, you might discover that it has some nice graphics within the architecture that you don't see when you're watching the game. People going about their everyday activities. Somebody practicing skateboarding outside the Clark building on an afternoon. A kid hula hooping at a concert. Sometimes even just the geese taking off on the west lawn could be a nice feature against the sunset. Get up early and you may see ice falling off of a fence. And graphic, just interesting images are classic features. Don't ignore people who are sitting in the good light. Don't be afraid to crop radically either if that makes it a better picture. Who can resist a marshmallow? But this is the homecoming bonfire, so somebody came prepared. 4th of July, This is a generic enough picture. You could run this multiple years and it would to talk about the coming of the 4th of July. Even somebody riding their bike across campus. But again, make sure that you take a compelling picture of that person riding a bike and make sure it's an interesting composition. They are framed, they're a center of interest, and your eye wants to look at that person as they're going through the frame. Different angles can make for fun features. This happened to be the Halloween football game, so everybody, not everybody, but lots of people came in costume. Or you could just, again, a slice of daily life at the vet hospital. Tours outside the Clark building. There's a saying, you only get one sunrise and one sunset a day, so don't waste them. This is fog at like 6 o'clock in the morning. That's the sun coming up over the intramural fields and the ROTC Corps out doing their morning exercises. Or sunrise on campus. Bad weather can frequently make for nice pictures, okay? It's a weather picture. This is sort of an image that also speaks to what life was like that day. Things like a music festival. But it's not just that he's up there playing, it's that his daughter decided to come up and join in the performance. And anytime you can get our school mascot in a feature picture, that can't go too far wrong. Have fun with this one. This is an excuse for you guys to get out there and play and just look for a picture.